Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge says that the notion that a judge should never seek to have a romantic relationship with a person of lower class, age, status or category of work is difficult to fathom. The top judge is currently on the stand in the landmark sexual harassment probe against him. Mbenenge is accused of allegedly sexually harassing Judges Secretary Andiswa Mengo through in-person interactions and electronic communications between June 2021 and November 2022, an allegation he denies. When probed on the stated notion put by his counsel, Judge President Selby Mbenenge held the view that people should be viewed as adults who are free to engage in any form of a relationship.
That is a notion that is hard to fathom. The notion that a judge cannot have affection. I just say affection, or may not be interested in somebody. I believe that there's a fallacy when it comes to that. I think what is important is to view people as adult individuals. They are free to engage in whatever form of relationship as long as there's mutual consent. Your question was a bit lengthy. You mentioned something about age. When it comes to age, all I can say is I would never query a woman who is older than a man in a relationship. I would never query a man who is much older than the female party in a particular relationship. I don't want to say age is a number. All I need to say is what is important is that the adults that I've just mentioned are free to engage in whatever relationship they would like to, for as long as they are adults.
For more now on this, we now cross to SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga in Sandton. Good afternoon, Canny. Can you share with us some of the other points that Mbenenge raised this morning in his testimony?
Indeed, good afternoon to you and to the viewers at home. Where you left off in the sound clip that has just played is Judge President Selby Mbenenge getting off to his testimony, or his side of the story, in this landmark sexual harassment probe. He admits that he was interested in relating to the complainant, that is Judges Secretary Andiswa Mengo, and you see again his testimony pointing to the defense that he believes those interactions were consensual. The key takeaway from that clip was mutual consent, though. However, we understand from the complainant, and we've seen through her testimony, that these alleged advances on her part, the way she experienced them, is that she says they were unwanted alleged advances from the top judge, and that she did not consent to those electronic communications or those in-person interactions between June 2021 and November 2022. Now, the critical issues that are going to be placed before the Judicial Conduct Tribunal, or at least the Judge President has to answer to, are those issues that are in dispute. We know that there are many pieces of the evidence that are before the Judicial Conduct Tribunal that both parties agree to, and there's no issue regarding that evidence, such as the electronic communications. But there are issues that the pair cannot agree on, and of course the Judge President vehemently denies partaking in that particular conduct. We've seen the Judge President go to great lengths to discuss the issue of the 14th and the 15th of November 2022. We've already seen through the tribunal that Andiswa Mengo, the complainant, placed on record that she allegedly saw the Judge President hugging the court manager in chambers during that period, and then she also places on record that that is the alleged incident where there was alleged indecent exposure on the part of the Judge President, rather, where he allegedly requested Andiswa Mengo to go to chambers, and then she alleges that he requested her to perform an act of a sexual nature. He, of course, denies that, and he goes to great lengths to deny it. He even went into quite a lengthy exercise, which seemed like a bit of a criticism towards the tribunal, because this is an inquisitorial body, particularly the evidence leader, going through many instances where he felt that further investigation should have taken place before bringing such a serious allegation to the tribunal. He turns to Zinhle Ngai's evidence, that's the former Judges Secretary that was here last week, who gave testimony that gave the impression that the Judge President was so busy on the afternoon of the 14th of November that it minimized the probability of such an incident taking place. But we saw the evidence leader deal with that probability by showing that there are gaps that existed in that afternoon where it could have possibly taken place. So there's still questions surrounding that particular incident. We expect that after the adjournment, he'll also be dealing with the evidence of the male private parts that was allegedly sent to Andiswa Mengo. She testified that she received that explicit image allegedly from the top judge, and she attributed the image to the top judge as well. So we expect for him to go through that particular evidence, which he also denies. He vehemently denies the in-person interactions and the alleged incidents that could, if they were possibly true, have had damning implications on the judge president. He also went to great lengths to deal with his judicial background, as well as the challenges that he has faced as a judge president. Now, that particular evidence, I'm not sure where it'll find meaning yet in the tribunal. Perhaps when he completes his testimony, which is in themes, then we'll understand why he felt the need to mention the challenges in the Eastern Cape Division of the High Court. So we expect that proceedings will continue again at 2 p.m. And of course, he'll be back on the stand to continue with those disputed in-person interactions between him and Andiswa Mengo.